Sending a mission to Mars is one of the most difficult challenges we can take on. You have the usual difficulties of space, so dealing with low gravity, extremes of temperature, no atmosphere, near vacuum, and aggressive radiation. There are the phenomenal costs involved, so you have to make everything as small and lightweight as possible. Then with Mars, you have a narrow launch window and a long journey that culminates in what people call the 7 minutes of terror. And that's where the spacecraft has to decelerate from around 12,000 miles an hour to just 5 miles an hour in 7 minutes. If you get it wrong, it's like hitting a brick wall. You have to enter the atmosphere at just the right angle, too shallow and you bounce off into space, but coming too steep and the spacecraft burns up in the atmosphere. If you do get that right, you've got to survive the friction heat of entry. You've got to make sure your parachute deploys at exactly the right moment and that it cuts away cleanly and doesn't end up covering your solar panels. You've got to touch down softly on a surface that should be flat and even enough not to damage your craft, but still interesting enough for your instruments and the science that you bring back. And even if you manage all of that, you're still at the mercy of the weather. Landing in the middle of a Martian dust storm will make everything that much closer to impossible. The scariest part, though, is that all of this happens too quickly for you to be able to control it in real time. It can take up to 20 minutes to communicate with a rover on Mars, assuming you have a clear line, as it were. So the landing process has to be completely programmed in advance. And we're stuck on Earth watching with our fingers and toes crossed, hoping that we got it right.